Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's.
Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I am Sally Lemus. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. Lawmakers report back on a heavily criticized gaming industry trip to the Philippines. Also tonight, ports officials are calling the transition report inaccurate and untrue. And tourist arrivals from Korea are trending upwards, but Japan and China numbers are still in the tank. In sports, there's only one way to say it: baseball is back. Stay with us, we have these stories and more up next.
What's the move? Kinda wild out. Catch a groove. She said, where you going? What's the move? Kinda wild out. Catch a groove. What's the move?
Try a double Filet-O-Fish sandwich for double the flavor, just in time for Lent. For a limited time, served after 10:30 a.m.
Half a day to the WAMI and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Wednesday, March 29th, 2023. A group of lawmakers have just returned from a taxpayer-funded trip from the Philippines. Although their trip was publicly criticized, they say they return with vital information that will help the casino industry. The ASEAN Gaming Summit in Manila is known across Asia for its platform in information and context exchange within the gaming industry. Members of the House Standing Committee on Gaming were invited and they took the opportunity to attend, but they came back home to disapproval from several concerned constituents. Despite the criticism, lawmakers say their biggest takeaway was the answer to an idea that's been in the works for quite some time, which is internet gaming, also known as iGaming.
I think I've been pushing iGaming for a while. I think my colleague and vice chair would agree with that because I pushed it so many times with him. But coming back from this trip, I mean, everything with what's going on in the Philippines, they spoke a lot about iGaming, and they are basically shutting it down because there was other avenues that the Philippine government was having trouble with the Chinese operators.
Representative Marissa Flores states it's better to meet with subject matter experts for a direct answer.
The information we gained was that it is not appropriate at this time. Had we not gone on this trip and we had just consulted amongst ourselves, researched amongst ourselves, asked our counsels amongst ourselves, and not had these intellectual conversations with the professionals, with the ones that actually market iGaming, brand iGaming, sell iGaming, we would have put ourselves in a very poor situation and made the same mistakes that would have been very costly and catastrophic.
And that's not all they learned. According to the lawmakers, they discovered that Imperial Pacific International is blacklisted in international gaming. Gaming experts advised our local lawmakers to revoke IPI's license.
The bottom line is from the strip, aside from talking to the service industry experts, the bottom line is that exclusive license is just not going to work here. We have gotten valuable insight from past legislators on those regions that were massive experts on this field of gaming, and we were told that you get rid of the exclusivity, the exclusive gaming license, and we're gonna get investors. They will come.
But that is out of the legislature's jurisdiction. The Commonwealth Casino Commission are the authorized body to perform that action. Representative Ed Probst raises concerns.
Have they committed enough grievances and enough mistakes to have that license revoked by now? 1,000 times over. 1,000 times over. There is no reason, absolutely none, why this has to be mediated or talked about or whatever. The laws are clear. The laws are very clear. This license can be revoked today. Had they chose to do so, they have more than enough grounds to do so. My question is, why aren't they doing so? What are they afraid of? Are they afraid that IPI is going to sue the living daylights out of the Commonwealth when they haven't lived up to everything that they have promised?
The goal now is to lean towards investors from the Korean and Taiwanese market. Chairman Yumo says they are also looking at keeping the casino industry, but in a smaller capacity.
What we're looking at now is more of a smaller type casino gaming, which is kind of like a Club C style, where each hotel, if they're interested at a smaller price, can have their own gaming here in the Sinamay. That's the only way. There's no building of 2,000 rooms. That's not going to happen anytime soon. I think every region is preparing for a different type of gaming with regards to non-gaming revenue. So that's what we're looking at right now.
Government transition reports are intended to give the incoming administration a snapshot of a department or agency's current status. The CPA transition report was the focal subject on Tuesday's special Board of Directors meeting.
As the Executive Director of CPA, I am obligated to inform this board and the general public of this inaccuracy.
According to management over at the Commonwealth Ports Authority, the 17-page transition report is fraught with factual inaccuracies. Executive Director Chris Tenorio told board members there are numerous unsupported statements in the report that has influenced recommendations made to the administration. Tenorio says these recommendations misinforms the administration of CPA state and operations. Management commented on 23 findings and recommendations they found to be untrue, which includes salary increases, lack of AOA trainings, non-compliance of comp time rules, and much more.
Leo Tadella states that he requested information regarding the status of CPA's litigation, but CPA refused to cooperate with that request.
The chart provided within the CPA transition report was a chart created and submitted to the transition team in response to the request for information. That request for information was made to CPA's internal counsel on December 28, and on that same day, CPA's internal counsel provided the aforementioned chart and answered all questions posed.
Tenorio does, however, acknowledge that there are existing issues of concern, and he says CPA has taken steps to address it. He says the valid points are overshadowed by inaccuracies.
Even more concerning is the fact that some transition members have a conflict of interest in drafting this report. For example, the report recommends that at least one current CPA board member be placed with a member from the transition team. Logically, the administration is more likely to replace CPA's board member if the 2022 transition report casts a negative light on CPA's operation.
Director Pete Regis, who was also a part of the administration's transition committee, informed the board that he personally believes those tasked to CPA did not follow regulations in forming their transition report.
Bruce Jorgensen, and I mentioned to him during that meeting that he had exceeded his authority, having called directly to FAA because FAA is not part of the local government. And I also feel that he wasn't listening when we had this meeting for all the transition committee chair and members that was called by the overall chairman of the transition committee, that there is a limit to the extent of our authority.
Board Chairwoman Kimberly King Hines says the alleged unfactual transition report does not represent the administration but certain individuals.
I do not believe that the statements contained in the transition report is a reflection of the Palacios Apateng administration. It is a reflection of personal comments of certain people. And so I want to make that distinction.
Hines was also criticized in the report, alleging her of micromanagement.
I sign off as the contracting officer, which means at the end of the day, the buck stops with me, which means I'm not going to sign off if I do not have full knowledge of what the heck I'm being asked to sign. You know what I mean? The other part of it is I'm an attorney. You think I'm just going to let management come to me and say, here, sign this piece of document without knowing all the facts before signing off on a contract? That's just not going to happen.
Hines adds that the board has regulations that they do follow.
This board does not go to CPA and order people around. We just don't do that. This is not 2008, where you had board chairs sitting and having an office and being driven around by ports police. This is not that time anymore. This is not the time when board chairs were going to happy hour and calling in chefs off duty and having their taps being paid by CPA. None of that stuff happens now. There are rules, there are regulations. And some people want to say that I'm extra. Maybe I am extra, but I maybe also think that some people are just basic in their understanding of what the rules are and what their roles are.
The board was asked by CPA management to be cautious when considering the recommendations in the transition report. Arrivals to the NMI from South Korea topped 12,000 for the month of February.
That 12,000 number is the highest since before the pandemic. Total 12,025 arrivals from South Korea, compared to 2,821 in February of last year. Marianas Visitors Authority says that Jeju Air operated 28 flights during the month compared to just 7 flights last February, while T-Ways operated 35 flights compared to 8 flights a year ago. Asiana Airlines, which had announced that flights to Saipan would be suspended starting in March, have now indicated that they will resume service, and that's going to start April 27th when they start flying 4 times a week, and then they will go daily in July and August of this summer. Marianas received just 605 visitors from Japan in February 2023, compared to 57 visitors in February of 2022. United currently offering direct service to and from Tokyo 3 times per week, but demand out of Japan has been soft, and travel packages to the Marianas are still expensive compared to Asian destinations due to the strength of the U.S. dollar. Japan government has also indefinitely extended its national travel discount program that offers up to 20% discount to encourage domestic rather than outbound travel, making recovery of the market a continued uphill battle for the Marianas. On a positive note, in May, the Japanese government is expected to downgrade the coronavirus from a Category 2 infectious disease to Category 5. That's the same level as the seasonal flu. MVA will host its annual Marianas seminar and webinar on April 5th. That'll be in Tokyo to meet personally with travel agents and media and promote the destination. Taking a look at our neighbor of Guam, in February, Korean arrivals were over 37,000, and arrivals from Japan topped 6,000. That's about 10 times the amount that are coming to Saipan. China, which rivaled South Korea as a top source market of the Marianas prior to the pandemic, marked just 73 visitors in February. Strict quarantine requirements in February, along with geopolitical concerns, have kept the market pretty much closed for leisure travel to the Marianas. Marianas also received 808 visitors from Guam, 611 visitors from the U.S., and a combined 741 visitors from all other destinations in February.
All right, coming up, a special report on a trip to Satawal. Stay tuned.
Premium office space is available now at the Hermosa Vista Business Park on Capitol Hill. Features include dedicated parking, fast internet, backup power, good water, and natural light throughout to go along with the very best views on Saipan. So don't settle for space when you can get peace and peace of mind. Call Hermosa Vista today at 670-483-4750 or email hvsaipan@gmail.com. Green sea turtles and hawksbill turtles call the Mariana Islands home. They are an important part of the marine ecosystem. They are under threat, and they are protected under CNMI law. Keep plastic out of the ocean. Keep vehicles off the beach. Use the Sea Turtle Stranding Hotline if you see poaching activities or if you see a turtle in trouble. Call 287-8537 and save a turtle.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. Tomorrow morning, a band of 9 will leave the shores of Saipan aboard an open and loaded boat. Their journey will take them south over the deepest ocean waters on the planet, towards the distant atoll of Satawal, an island about the size of 3 Managajas, with a very traditional way of life. It will no doubt be a journey to remember. Our Chris Nelson reports.
This vessel and its crew will head to the distant atoll of Satawal tomorrow.
We're getting all that stuff ready and getting ourselves ready too, because we're going to be out in the water for at least 3 days before we get down there.
Today is preparation day. The 47-foot boat will take a total of 9, 8 of them fellas, and inside the big boat, this small boat, which will be placed up front, they will use it to get into the atoll after arrival. Add in food, some school supplies for Satawal residents, and the food and fuel required to make the long trip, and it doesn't leave much room for people, and as you can see, there are no cabins below. So, what do you do? You're going to be sleeping on the decks. What do you do? What do you do when it rains?
So when it rains, we just grab a tarp and cover up, or get in our raincoats and sit on deck and just wait it out.
Nights will be cold, especially east of Guam in the Marianas Trench area. The seasoned captain has done this voyage before. Captain Cecilio says in 2012 they ventured into the Marianas Trench area and ran into a live fire exercise being conducted by the U.S. military.
We're a sailing vessel. We're a 25-footer sailing vessel, and we have no engine. We just under sail.
I'm guessing as surprised as you were to see them, they were probably pretty surprised to see you too.
Yeah, it was kind of scary, live fire and seeing that kind of train in the middle of the ocean, unexpected.
Biggest smile on the island today? Well, that might reside with Cecilio's brother Cam, who arrived on Saipan today from Orlando, Florida. Cam, you just got off the plane, first time back in over 40 years.
43 years.
How's it feel to be back?
It's really, really good. It's really nice.
And you're not here long because you're getting on the boat tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Were you born in Satawal?
Yeah. 61.
1961.
Yeah.
How's it feel coming back? What are your feelings?
Oh man, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I'm really excited going out on the water.
About 400 people currently live on Satawal. They have internet there?
There's no internet, but my cousin arrived there yesterday with a satellite phone, so we're able to communicate. So we've been talking.
It's the first trip back for Cecilio since the pandemic. In early April, a traditional navigator ceremony is scheduled for 2 women, and another for men will follow shortly thereafter. The boat leaves tomorrow from the seaplane ramp, and public's invited to say bon voyage or sayonara or good luck. Scheduled departure around 9 a.m.
So I want to thank everybody in our community for their prayers and their support, and for their words of wisdom, and we appreciate that.
And safe travels to Cam from Florida, who is excited to head home.
Go Gators!
All right, thank you, Chris. Military tourism is introduced to NMI businesses. Let's take a look. Officials from the Joint Region Marianas presented its morale, welfare, and recreation program before local businesses on Tuesday at the Multipurpose Center in Susupi. The MWR program offers commercial sponsorship within the military market for local businesses that would like to join. This means graphic support, product exposure, and service advertising to military personnel who are currently on Guam. The presentation was held in collaboration with the Commonwealth Bureau of Military Affairs, Marianas Visitors Authority, and the Saipan Chamber of Commerce.
Specifically, they mentioned that there are about 5,000 soldiers in Guam and possibly more than that who are looking for travel, leisure time with their families and friends. So they're not able to travel far side to visit their families in the mainland. So this is an alternative for them to come to the Micronesian region, right?
The goal is to entice military personnel and their families to choose the Marianas as their travel destination. Chamber Director Kimberly Camacho says the military market is a great substitute as the NMI pivot away from China, but one challenge ahead is the capacity to accommodate the servicemen.
I think the biggest challenge with the military market coming into Saipan is, can we really accommodate it? Given our current economic status, right? A lot of people are unemployed. A lot of businesses are short-staffed, right? And there's all these CW1 issues happening currently. So the thing that I'm worrying about is we attract these 5,000 plus soldiers into our island. Do we have the capacity to give the service to them?
Special Assistant for CNMI Bureau of Military Affairs Danny Aquino, for his part, is concerned about flight prices.
I think one of the main concerns is the flight. That's why we're trying to talk to MVA to try to bring back the travel bubble, at least to try to cut some of the fare or to subsidize some of the fare for the military personnel to make it affordable for them. I think in the long run, we're going to see the positive effects if that was able to happen. And of course, the governor and lieutenant governor, they're committed to turning the economy around.
Aquino says there are upcoming military trainings scheduled for the following weeks, so businesses can begin preparing now for military arrival.
Businesses can already start benefiting, from these upcoming training events that are happening here. And as expressed in previous meetings with the JRM, the CJMT, the IRT, that they are willing to spend money here. So businesses, they need to get prepared. The community also, let's greet the military personnel and, give the governors, the governor, the lieutenant governor's initiative a chance, towards military tourism.
Businesses who weren't able to attend but are interested are encouraged to reach out to the chamber for more information. All right, folks, don't go anywhere. We have sports up next.
Need a new phone? Trade in now and get up to $500 off our best 5G devices. Trade in your older phone in any condition and step up to better savings and speeds only our 5G network can provide. Check out our website and catch up on the best mobile experience. Trade in now. Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Premium office space available now at the Hermosa Vista Business Park on Capitol Hill. Upgrade your work-life balance and enjoy a distinctive blend of location and nature with open spaces and ocean views. It's the perfect place for creative professionals who want real results. Call us at 670-483-4750 or email hvsaipan@gmail.com. Hey, golfers, come north and practice your game at the Marianas Driving Range. New Year's local specials. 10-piece coupon books available for just $60. That's a $10 savings. Want to get really good? Come work on your swing every day for just $99 per month. It's our practice pass and you're going to love it. Grab your passes and go straight to the range. You can social distance and chip all at the same time, and the views are free. Reserve now at marianastrekking.com. You can pay online, open 7 days a week.
Tonight's sports brought to you in part by Tan Holdings through the Tan Su Lin Foundation, making communities a better place to live.
Buenas sports fans.
The Tanco Palacios baseball field in Oleai is expected to be quite busy for the next 10 weeks because, yes, baseball is finally back. The Tan Holdings Saipan Baseball League kicked off on Saturday, bringing the Marianas' favorite pastime back after 4 long years. Tan Holdings CEO and President Jerry Tan, together with retired KSPN 2 sports anchor Bob Codine, threw the first ceremonial pitch. The two were honored and excited to be a part of baseball's return.
1, 2, 3.
Finally, baseball is back, and then this is something our community has been waiting for years. It was great last year to see our national team came out being the gold medalist in the Pacific Mini Games, but that is only the kickoff. Today is really the beginning of our local league that involves 11 teams. So we cannot be happier than that.
Codine, on his part, touched on the history of NMI baseball, giving credit to all the people who made it possible.
How many of you players were alive in 1982? 2. How many were not? None of you. That means this field is older than you. This means the game was handed to you. And I would like to give credit to the people who made this all possible, starting way back in 1982 and the very first Saipan Major League President, David Igatol, by the way, the son of Pablo Igatol, who was the top catcher during Japanese time. In fact, he was the Manny Sablon of 1930s. Pablo Igatol. And then following Dave Igatol, Tom Pangilinan, Inden did so much in those early years. In fact, it was him in the 9th legislature that got this field named in honor of Tonko Palacios. So thank you, Tom Pangilinan, for everything that you did. Then after that, decades of unpaid, voluntary, exemplary administration from Tony Regolofoy and Rose Igatol to sustain baseball during its really glory years. So this is what's being handed and revived back. And we're congratulating the new board. I pledge my support. Jerry's pledged his support. We ask the community, please support the Pan Holdings Saipan Baseball League and bring back the way it used to be.
Tony Regolofoy and Rose Igatol were among the crowd, but this time as spectators.
Oh, I think it's very exciting to bring baseball back. It's been a few years since we've had baseball, and the community is dying to watch. Teams are dying to play. So, and us fans were dying to watch.
It's been a while since we have baseball. Now people are coming out. We're excited to watch the games. And, the mini games really brought up the spirit of the community. So they're looking forward to watching this season.
This season is set to have 25 games in a single round-robin format. Championship is scheduled for June. The CK Bears and the Brewers played the opening game on Saturday. The Bears won 11-2.
Hi, I'm Dre, one of the personal trainers here at Ghost Gym, and today I want to go over some exercises that you can easily apply into your current exercise program. Now I have here with me Vince, and he's going to be demoing some of those exercises. Now the first one today is going to be a one-arm dumbbell row. Before I have Vince here execute a few reps, what we want to remember with virtually any exercise is your setup. If you start in a bad position, it's not going to look good, and it's certainly not going to feel good. So a common mistake with here is obviously a rounded upper back, and as you can see, he's not very rigid or stable. So what we're gonna do is correct that just a little bit. So his supporting arm and his leg that's supported on the bench as well we wanna lock that in. Open up that leg a little bit to allow for a better path on that dumbbell. With the elbows coming up way too high, you can see the shoulders riding forward, and that's not what we want. So ideally, what you wanna think about is pulling with your elbows and stopping right at the midline of your body. So in this position right here, you can feel his entire upper back along with his core.
And for your KSPN weather report, partly sunny with isolated showers, east wind 10 to 13 miles per hour tonight, partly cloudy with isolated showers, east wind 7 to 11 miles per hour, high 84, low 77. Humidity of 90%. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with isolated showers, east wind 9 to 13 miles per hour, high 84, low 77. Marine forecast, gentle to moderate winds and combined seas of 4 to 6 feet will continue through the weekend. A trade wind, though, will bring scattered showers today. There are chances of showers in Saipan and Tinian waters on Friday and Sunday, and in Rota waters on Saturday and Sunday. East wind 10 knots, wind waves 2 feet or less. East swell 4 to 6 feet. The sunrise will be at 6:15 a.m., high tide 11:34 a.m., low tide 8:10 p.m., and the sunset, you can catch that at 6:28 p.m. And there you have it. That is your midweek edition of the news, sports, and weather here in the Marianas. Thank you so much for watching the Channel 2 News. We hope you have a great night, and we'll see you back here on Friday.